Before I say anything else, I want you to do something. Count your real estate subscriptions in your head right now. Okay. CRM, social media scheduler, lead gen platform, transaction management, email marketing, video tool, AI writing assistant, maybe a market report tool, maybe something you signed up for 6 months ago and genuinely cannot remember what it does. The average agent I talk to is paying for somewhere between 6 and 14 tools. And here's what almost all of them have in common. They're not working. Not because the tools are bad, but because they were never connected into a system. And today I'm going to show you exactly how that happened, what it's actually costing you, the number is worse than you think, and the specific way out. Before we get into the how and the why, I need to do something first. I need to describe your life back to you because most tool collectors are living this every day and don't have a name for it. So here's your list. Count how many of these land, okay? Your CRM has contacts from when you first signed up and almost nothing added since. You set it up, imported your sphere, got completely overwhelmed by all the features, and now you log in once every few weeks, mostly to feel less guilty about it. You're paying for a dialer you used exactly twice. Both times were in week 1 when you were fired up. It's been sitting there ever since, charging your card every single month, waiting. Somewhere on your phone or on your desktop or in your downloads folder, there's an album or a folder called something like real estate resources or ideas or just stuff. It has between 40 and 200 items in it. You have opened maybe 4. When someone asks what your follow-up system is, you say, I try to stay on top of it, which means your follow-up system is your memory, a text thread you keep scrolling back to, 2 sticky notes on your monitor, and hope. Or you attended a webinar on automation. You bought the thing they sold at the end. You have never logged in. You have started a social media content calendar at least twice, maybe 3 times. Each time you made it about 2 weeks before life happened. You describe your CRM to other agents as actually really powerful, despite the fact that you don't know what 2/3 of the features do. You just downloaded a new AI tool to help you use your other tools better. This is a tool to manage your tools. You are aware of the irony. And here's the one that really hits. You know exactly how much money you're spending every month across all of your subscriptions. You cannot name a single deal that any of it directly produced. How many was that? Because if it was more than 3, you're a tool collector. And I say this with no judgment because I was one of the most committed tool collectors I have ever met. I had the full kit, the expensive CRM, the dialer, the scheduler, the lead platform, all of it. And my follow-up system was still my memory and a sticky note. That's the trap. You feel like you have a system because you have the tools, but having tools is not the same as having a system. So how does this actually happen? Because tool collectors are not lazy agents. They're usually some of the most motivated people in the room. Here's what happened. You got into real estate and discovered very quickly that the training gave you a license, but not a business. Your broker showed you the basics. Maybe you shadowed someone. Maybe someone handed you a system, but nobody said, here is the specific order in which you build things. Nobody told you what stage you were actually at or what stage you actually needed. So you went looking, and everywhere you looked, the answer was a tool. Every Facebook group had a new recommendation. Every podcast had a sponsor. Every coach had a preferred tech stack, and every tool had testimonials from agents swearing it had changed their business. So you tried one, then another, then another. And here's the psychological trap that made it even worse. Buying a tool feels like an action. It feels like progress. You just signed up for CRM. You are becoming a more organized agent. You just got a social schedule. You're becoming a more consistent content creator. The act of acquiring the tool scratches the itch of doing something, but you're not building. You're collecting. There's a second thing that happened, and this one might be more frustrating to hear. You invested in coaching or a course or a training program, and the advice was really good, genuinely good. But it assumed something about you that wasn't true. It assumed your foundation was already built. It assumed you had a functioning CRM, a live follow-up sequence, a lead source producing consistently. It gave you stage 4 advice for a stage 2 foundation. So you tried to implement, it didn't stick, and you quietly blamed yourself. You are not the problem. You were given the wrong instructions for where you actually are. Let's talk about what this is actually costing you. If you're paying an average of $400 a month across all of your tools, and many of you are paying more, that's $4,800 a year on technology that, by your own account, isn't producing consistent results. Here's the stat that should permanently change how you think about your follow-up. The average real estate agent takes 917 minutes to respond to a new lead. That's 15 hours. That's 78% of buyers who sign with the first agent who responds. You are losing deals while you sleep, not because you don't care, but because you don't have an automated initial response system. You're depending on yourself to notice, respond, and follow through, which works until it doesn't. And at 917 minutes on average, it mostly doesn't. One missed deal in the median US commission is somewhere between $8,000 and $15,000. One deal. That's more than your entire year of tool subscription. And there's a third cost nobody talks about. Every subscription you're not fully using is a small, constant drain. It's the guilt when the charge hits your card. It's the shame when you open your CRM and see the untouched contacts. It's the half-finished content calendar, the unopened onboarding emails from the webinar tool you bought 4 months ago. That's not just money, that's cognitive weight you are carrying every single day, and it's making it harder to do the focused, intentional work that actually builds a business. So, you already know you're in the trap. You've probably known for a while and you've tried to fix it. Maybe you bought a new course, switched CRMs, hired a coach, decided to start completely fresh with a new tech stack, and it helped for a while. Then you were right back here. Here's why nothing stuck. Buying a new tool to solve a tool problem is the definition of the trap. The issue was never the specific tool, it was the absence of a connected system. A different CRM with the same disconnected workflow is still a disconnected workflow. Coaching helps, but only when it's stage appropriate. If you're being coached on how to scale your automated lead nurture sequence before you have a single automated workflow running, the advice is landing in soil that isn't ready for it. It doesn't stick. And then you feel like you failed when really the timing just wasn't right. And here's the part that might sting. The real estate training industry doesn't benefit from you moving through the stages quickly. Tool companies want you subscribed. Coaches want you retained. Courses want you buying the next one. The incentive structure of this industry is not designed to get you to stage 5 as fast as possible. No one is going to sell you a course called Stop Buying Courses, but that's the actual advice. The thing that moves you out of tool collector isn't more, it's less connected. You don't need a new tool. You need to audit the ones you have, choose 2 or 3 that are closest to what you actually need, and build one working connection between all of them. That's it. That's the move. So here's what the way out actually looks like. Step 1, stop the bleeding. Cancel every subscription you haven't actively used in 60 days. Not pause, cancel. The money you save is your starting investment in building the one thing you actually need. Step 2, audit what's left. Of all the tools you're keeping, identify the one that sits closest to the center of your business. For most of you, that's a CRM. If you don't have one you're actually using, pick the simplest available one, not the most powerful one. Use the tools your broker gives you. Power comes later. Right now, you need something you'll actually open. Step 3, build one handoff. Just one. The most valuable handoff in a real estate business is the connection between receiving a lead and making contact. Can you set up one automated touch point, a text, an email, a task reminder that fires when a new lead comes in? Just one. That is the systemizing agent move, and it is the bridge out of tool collector. Now, exactly how far you are from that bridge depends on where you are right now, because not every tool collector is in the same place. Some of you are in deep. Some of you are right on the edge of stage 3 and just need someone to tell you that you're closer than you think. That's exactly why I built the Digital Agent Roadmap Quiz. 8 questions about how your business actually runs right now, not how you wish it ran, and it maps you to your specific stage with your next specific move. Not generic advice, not a pitch for something expensive, just an honest picture of where you are. It takes 2 minutes, it's completely free. The link is in the description. Take it before you buy one more thing. And if you want to be surrounded by agents who are actively building their way through this, who are in the same stage or a few steps ahead, that's the Digital Agent Lab. Free to join, link is also in the comments. I want to see you on the other side of this. If this hits somewhere uncomfortable, that means you already know what to do next. Subscribe if you want more. I make content specifically for agents who are done being sold and ready to build. Take the quiz, link in the description, and if you know a tool collector, and you do, we all do, send them this video. It might be the thing that finally unsticks them. See you inside the lab. Let's get to work.